And it's about that time, y'all. And of course, I am going to be on camera, but it's about that time, y'all. It's about that time. It's about that time. And it's time for us to celebrate the 15 years of Scotty by Nature TV. Today is October the 27th. I started this channel on October the 27th, 2010. I was 21 years old, and we are here to just, you know, talk about my journey and where I've been, where I started, how I started and where I am today and where I think I'm going to be by the 20 years of Scotty by Nature TV, God willing. Okay. We're going to do all that. And I don't really know if I'm going to be on here for more than 30 minutes or not. I really don't know. But I just think that it's very fitting for me to, do this on today and just talk about my journey. And I know I've talked about my journey 1,000 times, but it's still very shocking to me that we're here 15 years later. And there are so many things that have happened. There's so many things I've never even talked about that have happened, but we're here to discuss it. So here I go. And I am here. We just got done with the Whether You Like It or Not panel, and now we're here to talk about my 15 years. As a matter of fact, I'd rather it be dark in here for me to do that. So hold on. I'd rather the light be off. Okay. So we're here. And I got some things that I want to say, some things that I want to discuss, and how happy I am to actually be here. Now, this is one of those lives where I don't really expect no big numbers and shit. Like, I don't expect 100 folks to be up in here. Don't really expect 50 folks to be up in here. But however, anybody just being in here is what matters to me. What can I say? What can I say? And how can I start this off? I want to start off by saying this, right? If you want to know what perseverance look like, if you want to know the definition of determination, and if you want to know what it means to not give up, the person that you're looking at is me. My picture should be right next to that definition, to any of those definitions, because I am the person that could tell you never give up. Continue to do it until you find your footing, right? So let's start over. Let's go back, all the way back. Okay. 15 years ago. So after doing Facebook videos for about a year and some change, everybody was telling me, you know what? You need to go on YouTube. You bigger than Facebook. Go to YouTube and do your videos. And of course, me being me, I didn't really think that I could do that. I didn't think nobody would watch me. I didn't think that I could capture an audience. And I just didn't think that I would be good enough for the sport itself. Yeah, YouTube is a thing. And, but sometimes some of us who look at it, some of us look at it like it's a sport of some sort. So I was like, I ain't doing that. I don't want to get on here. I don't want to make a fool of myself. And everybody, all my friends was telling me, no, you should do it. And I remember when I first started and I was doing videos with my friend Jasmine, we was reviewing housewives together. And sometimes we would review basketball wives together. Like, she was on those videos with me for my first few videos. And then she got her a job at Comcast and she was working at night all the time. So she couldn't do videos with me no more. And I had gotten into the groove of me doing videos with my homegirl. So I was just like, okay, she's not going to do them no more. So what can I do? I just felt like I needed somebody to bounce off of. But I chose to continue doing them on my own. I was in college, but then by the time I started my channel, I had flunked out. Because I got to be honest, and I'm not here to tear down school. Because school is school. I'm not here to tear it down. But I knew that school wasn't for me. And I just knew that there was a bigger purpose for me. It was something else out there for me to do. But I knew that school just wasn't for me. And I tried it. And I only went to college because I wanted to make my mother proud. Because I know that that was something that she wanted for me. And I know that she wanted to go back to school and finish off her degree because when she was in college, she dropped out because she had me. And when I went to college, she followed suit and she did the same thing. She went to college too. So we were both in college at the same time. And we were both going to classes. We were going to different schools, but we were both going to college at the same time. And for me, I feel like I was more so, she was more so engulfed into it, but I really wasn't. So to me, it was kind of like, this ain't for me. I kept saying this ain't for me, but I'm still finished. And I went to school for mass comm and journalism. Is Lyric still up in here? Because I know he was in here. He needs to be in here. Anyway, but I went to school for mass comm and journalism, and I knew that if I was going to go to school, I want to go to school and go to school for something that I really want to do. I don't want to go to school for nursing because I don't want to do nursing. I don't want to go to school for business administration because I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to school for, secondary education because I don't want to teach nobody. I knew that I wanted something like this. And so that's what I did. And I remember one of the first videos I posted. One of the first videos I posted was Blood Ain't Thicker Than Water. One of the first. I think it was my very first one, but I want to say it was one of my first. And I made that video after my older cousin found out that I was gay. My cousin Dwayne, he found out that I was gay. And he went the fuck off on me about that. And me and him were very close. I looked at him like a big brother. When we went to high school together and stuff, he was a year older than me, and he would always take up for me. Every time somebody fucked with me, he made sure that they didn't fuck with me no more. And I was 21 when this information came about. When he came at me, he cursed me out. And I was so hurt by that. Like, I was so hurt. So I did a video and I talked about it. And one thing about my channel has always been entertainment, but I always told my own stories because I knew that somebody out there could relate to what I was talking about. So eventually me and him made amends and stuff like that. We made amends and we're cool. Not as close as we used to be, but we're cool now. But I remember making that video explaining my displeasure in being rejected by someone that I loved. And then, is that the cousin that you said you didn't have the? Yes, that cousin. He definitely said that to me. And then, Brandy and Ray J had a show. I reviewed that. What Chili Once was out. I reviewed that. Real Housewives of Atlanta season 3 came out. I reviewed that. Basketball Wives season 2 came out. I reviewed that. And I remember I got 100 subscribers and I was so happy about that. And I thought that I was on to something. And everybody knows that when I first started, I always say that my inspirations were and still is The Scorpion Show and Sweet Additions TV. Those were the main two I was watching. The first time I saw a Sweet Additions TV video was the Little Miss Shit and Pickles. That was the very first one I saw. And I was hooked from that point on. I can't really remember what my first Scorpion Show video was, but whatever it was, it stuck. And I continued to watch Kevin and Mikhail. So it was like a slow process at the beginning. And I understood why, because my video quality wasn't the best. I was doing videos out of my bathroom. The lighting wasn't great. I was doing videos off a Kodak camera, so that quality was not the best. But for whatever happened, it drew in somebody. I don't know what it was, but it drew in somebody. Even though that quality was terrible, the videos were kind of dark. I was in the bathroom. But however, it's something about me still stuck out to people. And even though back then, and I always say that, but back then, in any industry you always have your leads, and then you have somebody that's in the background. And when I first started, this was like the class of 2010, early 2011. There were reviewers coming out. It was Much Love. It was Bundy. It was Ashley. It was Rox. They were the leaders of the pack. They were the leaders of that particular class of YouTubers. They were. I was in the background though. Like I was still trying to find my way, but I was in the background. But I really wasn't at the front like they were, but I was in the back. And then there was another YouTuber by the name of Divalicious Queen 83. She was doing videos for a short time too, and she stopped doing them. However, one thing I want to give her teens, because sometimes I feel like I don't really do it a lot, and I feel like I should give her teens more often. Divalicious Queen 83 was the first YouTuber to shout me out. The first one. She was reviewing Basketball Wives right alongside me. And I think she did reviews for like a year. And then she had a baby and then she stopped doing videos anymore. But she started following me on Facebook and all that. And even today, she still reaches out to me. She bought my book. She still is around. She don't do YouTube no more, but she's still around. And I love her. Even though she hasn't done YouTube in years, but she's still around. I wish she was still doing YouTube today, but she's still around and I love her. But I was in the background though. For the most part, I was in the background. I would say that my channel took off for real during season 2 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and season 2 of R&B Divas Atlanta. That's when my channel took off for real. I got this big old splash of subscribers so fast. And then I started working with King of Reeds at that time. It was me, him, and Adrian Expressions and Jamar. The 4 of us became friends. And I said the 4 of us became friends, bitch.
Okay, I just thought you were talking shit.
Oh boy, whatever. Anyway, the 4 of us became friends. And so I don't know what it was, but it felt like Jamar and I connected more than everybody else. Like we were so different, but so similar all at the same time. So we connected so quick. And it was the same with Justin, but I was friends with them for maybe about 2 years. And then unfortunately, was it 2 years? No, we were friends from 2013 till about 2017. And then, of course, by that point, my channel started to struggle a little bit. I didn't really know where I was going to go with it. I was very disappointed around because I had like this big growth spurt between 2013 and 2015. But by the time we got to 2016, it slowed down for me and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I'm like, what exactly am I going to do here? Because I don't know what I'm going to do. And I wanted to give up. And again, there's somebody else that started with me. Shut Up Dorian. I don't know if you guys remember him or not, but he was there too. He says, just stop by to say congratulations. I was there at the beginning. I love to see that you never gave up. Much love to you and continue in everything you continue to do. Thank you, Dorian. Love you. So I didn't know what I was going to do. I was ready to give up on YouTube because I started seeing all these new faces coming. And if you ever listen to Eve's book, and she talked about the surgence of Nicki Minaj and how that made her insecure. Y'all know that I keep it 100 with y'all. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell y'all, seeing these new faces pop up and seeing how fast they grew, it made me insecure. It made me completely insecure. It made me feel like I didn't have nothing to bring, nothing to do. All my peers are surpassing me. Everybody's doing what they need to do, but me. I'm the one that's stuck here. By that point, Bundy had about 40K. Ashley had about 40K. Rox had about 35K. Here I go with stuck at about 14, 13. You know what I'm saying? So I was so confused as to what was I doing wrong. And I was just like, this ain't gonna work for me. And it also did not help that I had family members that was telling me, you look stupid. Why are you doing it? Like, you sound stupid. Why are you even doing videos and stuff like that? And when you hear that from people that's your blood and they telling you that, this is like just downing you because you doing YouTube, and they telling you that you don't need to be doing it because you look dumb as hell and all this other shit, and you're a whole man, why you doing YouTube videos? Why you doing reviews on these shows? And like, that shit was hurtful. So, so when people would tell me that I'm too sensitive or whatever, and I focus too much on what people gotta say, y'all gotta understand, when you're used to being attacked all the time, even in your real life, and then you start putting yourself out there on social media, and they attacking you too, of course you're gonna be sensitive. I think I've come a very long way, but of course you're gonna be sensitive, if you're used to being attacked all the time. So, but even though they said that, I kept it pushing, only because I'm used to being the underdog. I've always been the underdog. I've been the underdog since I was a kid. I've always been the underdog. I've always been the person that no one believed in. I've always been the person that people always tried to steer in another direction. I've always been a person that everybody just tuned out. It was always something with me that was off. It was always something with me that wasn't, oh, you're almost there, but you're not there. It was always something like that all the time. And so I'm like, so I said, okay, I'm gonna try to keep this going, and I'm gonna try my best to see exactly what am I doing, what can I do. So around because 2016 was hard, 2017, 2018, I was losing people left and right during that time. Then I lost my friendship with King of Reeds, and that was a public situation, and that was a hurtful situation. I was completely hurt behind the way that friendship ended, because I looked at him like a big brother. And it was painful, and everybody had their opinions about it. And I didn't come out and I didn't speak on my side of the story or nothing like that, because I didn't want to do that with him on here. I didn't. And I still haven't. Still haven't disrespected him. Still ain't did nothing like that. And I won't do it today. But that hurt. And I was constantly being compared to him. And I'm guessing I was constantly being compared to him because we were working together and we were friends. So that is the reason why I was constantly being compared to him. And even then, we were always like different. It was always like a good cop, bad cop type of thing. It was so when we stopped being cool, everybody continued to compare us. And I was getting annoyed with that, and I did not want to be in nobody's shadow. And I'm like, stop comparing me to that man. I'm sure he don't want to be compared to me, and I don't want to be compared to him. Stop comparing me to him. We're two different people, and he's in a whole nother lane, and so am I. I'm trying to find mine. He already found his. So I'm trying to find my way in this whole thing, because right now I'm lost. I'm in a creative slump. I don't know what to do. So it's kind of like, just leave me be. So I'm trying to find my way. Around like 2019, the growth spurt started happening again. So it had been 3 years of me trying to figure out what to do, how I'm gonna do it, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, what can I do here? So Basketball Wives season 8 came out, and there was this whole controversy with OG. And OG was ostracized, and I was team OG. And that brought me a new batch of subscribers. It did. It brought me a new batch of subscribers. But it came to a halt in October 2019. Because if you're here, y'all about to hear a story that I've told before, but I'm going to tell it again because it's a part of my journey. This is October 2019, where my channel was growing. We were like, the Scotty gang was growing. Like I was getting somewhere. My videos was being posted. I was being talked about a lot more. It was going somewhere. But it came to a halt. Because I was homeless. I fell into a situation where me and my family lost our home and we were displaced. So in the months of November of 2019 till maybe about February of 2020, we were staying out of a hotel at that time. So I don't even know if people even noticed, but I couldn't even film my videos the way that I wanted to because I didn't have my camera. My computer was in storage. I didn't have a laptop then. All I had was my phone. So even with all that going on, I was still trying to film videos in the hotel bathroom with my phone. And people were still watching it. People were still watching it. So during that time that we were displaced, I talk about depression all the time. But that was the darkest time, one of the darkest moments of my life. So I contemplated suicide. One morning, it was like 5 a.m. It was the first night we was in the hotel. And I remember getting out the car, getting up, brushing my teeth, going to work. And I was driving to work. And I was just boohoo crying. I was just in tears the entire time. I was just crying. And just tried to run myself off the road. But that didn't happen. God spared me, I guess. But I was like, I don't want to be here. And I kept saying, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. This is too much for me to bear. I don't want to be here. And it was like, I was going to do whatever I could to get the fuck off this planet. I was going to do whatever I could because I couldn't deal with that. It was just too much. So I remember the only person that knew about this at that time was Jamar. And Jamar was living in LA back then. And Jamar was trying to figure out what he was going to do with his platform. Because if any of you remember, Jamar had his own YouTube. Jamar 84 is still up. He was trying to figure out what he wanted to do with his platform, and I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with mine. And so it was kind of like, okay, well, what can we do? We chose to do a podcast together, and it was going to be called the Room for Two podcast. So I told him, listen, starting at the top of the year, which was 2020, we're going to start getting our shit together. And he said, bet, we got it. So soon as 2020 started, we was up here looking for, looking for like images for our podcast, like trying to figure out how we was going to put it, where we was going to put it, if it was going to be like a YouTube, whether it was going to be on Spotify, whatever we wanted, we were trying to figure that part out. And so COVID started. My mother had just found us a house. So we was in the process of moving, and then people at Jamar's job was getting laid off left or right. So he didn't really know if he was going to be able to hold his end of the bargain financially because people were getting laid off left and right. This is like at the beginning of COVID when it was like crazy. It was the beginning. So we didn't know what we was going to do. So then that is when we started doing video. That's when I started. So if you saw me doing videos in the closet, that was when we moved into our new home at that moment, because the videos was always done in the bathroom, but then it was done in the closet. So that those were two different homes. So that I remember the last time I did a video in the closet, I told y'all that I was moving and all this other stuff. But really, in our reality, we lost the house, so we had to move. Then the next time you saw me, I was doing videos in the closet. So then we was in another home then. So me and Jamar I said, Jamar, okay, this is what we could do. Let's go live and see how people react to it. So we went live for the first time and people reacted well. So I said, hey, this can be let's just do a show together on live, and it could just be a prelude to our podcast. Hence the prelude with Scotty and Jamar. Boom. That's how I started. So then 2020 became, while it was a lot of stuff going on when it came down to COVID, it was working out well for my platform. I was still Mrs. Still Standing at the first half of 2020. I still was. So it was kind of like, okay, we're doing it. Let's see where it goes. I changed my name to Scotty by Nature TV in October at my 10-year anniversary. I changed my name to Scotty by Nature TV. And the name Scotty by Nature came from an ex-co-worker named Alicia. Every time I would come to work, every time I clock in, she'll always say, Scotty by Nature, Scotty by Nature. And I'm just like, why did she call me that? And when I was trying to find me a new name, that name stuck to me. So I was just like, got it, Scotty by Nature, and I was going to add TV at the end. In 2020, I also met the Just Us League. It was, but 2019, I met T first. And then the Just Us League was months later. Me and T got inducted to that with YB, Really B, L Teddy, Ebby, and the Cats Meow. So we was all coming together to do, panels on Chasing Dallas. That's how me and Really B became so tight. And then later on that year, I asked Josiah to come on the Prelude because I liked his commentary. And then I asked Jamie to do it too. And then later on that year, that's when the Whether You Like It or Not panel was born. And it was supposed to be like this. It was going to be T, myself, Jamie, Josiah, Color Me Pink, and Bundy Blue. Color Me Pink couldn't do it. So it started off with just me, T, Bundy, Jamie, and Josiah. Then y'all came along. Then Jay Lee and Alex came along. And then Sakina would pop in and out. So that's how the Whether You Like It or Not panel started. And then the girls, Jamie, Jay Lee, Bundy, and Nisi, they went on to do the Ooh Ladies First panel. And then while we were on hiatus from the Whether You Like It or Not panel, we decided to bring in Really B and Sakina for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. Then the Boys Night Out panel was also created during that time with me, JoJo, T, and Jamar. Then by the second episode, Maddie was a guest and he became a regular. So then after that, I had two panels, three. The Prelude, Boys Night Out, and the Whether You Like It or Not panel. So 2020 through 2021 was a very good time for Scotty by Nature TV. It was all going so smoothly. Then Portia Family Matters came out and then became Roast and Review with me, T, and JoJo. And we loved doing Boys Night Out. Not Boys Night Out. We loved doing Roast and Review with the three of us. We loved doing that. It was so fun. We loved doing it. And that became a staple. Then I came up with Who Was Wrong. I didn't come up with it by myself. As a matter of fact, the idea for Who Was Wrong actually came from a content creator who used to go by the name of Live with Leah Show, and then she changed her name to Spiritually Lovely Lee, and then she changed her name to Melanated Crowns, and now she goes by the name of Queen Lovely. It was actually her idea, and she wanted to do it with me. And I think that she was in college at the time, and we really didn't have time to really collaborate together to do it. So what I did was I asked her, would you mind if I took the idea and just did it with different people, including you, do it with different people, and then see how it goes? And she was like, okay, that's fine. So that was really a creation from her, but I just took it and just continued to, you know, I just went ahead and took it and just continued to develop it basically. So I probably wouldn't have had the idea of who was wrong if it wasn't for her. So shout out to her. Um, that became something, and then I wanted to do something that catered to up and coming content creators, which was called Young Fresh and New. I did 2 seasons of Young Fresh and New, where I brought in new coming content creators that I saw and that I loved, and all of those things, right? So I love doing that. And that was one of my lower rated, segments, but I didn't really give a damn. I still enjoyed it. Um, let's see. Um, then there was the influence with me and Reggie. It got cut short, but I enjoyed doing it with him for the most part. We talked about music and nothing but music on there. And then that was all 2021. Then I remember I did the roast of Scotty. I don't know if y'all remember that. But I remember doing the roast of Scotty with my childhood friends, and they all came on the platform and they was just telling y'all a lot of secrets about me and the person that they know that's not they were talking about Scotty, not Scotty by Nature TV, but they were talking about Scotty, which was so fun. And I don't know if y'all remember that, but it was so funny. Those were all my childhood friends. We've been friends for over 20 years, and they decided to come on there and just roast me. And so, and that's still up. And we supposed to be doing a part 2 to roaster review. I'm not roaster review, to the roast of Scotty. Actually, they all been asking, can they come back? But yeah, we did that. And so it was just something about, I was just enjoying myself, growing my platform in 2021 and 2022. And the thing about it was, what I noticed is that my name was now in the front when it came down to the Black YouTube reality recapping people. Like, I was right there at the front with Ashley and Bundy and Rocks. Everybody was just like, my name would be mentioned with their names now because I had put in so much work. I worked my way to the front with them. And that was great. And so, oh, excuse me. So then that was 2022. 2022 was probably one of the biggest years for my platform, right? Me and Jamar's biggest dream was to interview Candy because the Prelude was doing well. But we said, if we interview Candy, that's going to be something. So I reached out to her people. I reached out to Don Juan because he was also a watcher. And I reached out to him because I wanted to do an interview with Candy. And he sent me to this person. And then we were waiting, and we waited, and we waited, and we waited. Next thing you know, I got reached out to by Jamie, who works with Candy. And she asked me, are you willing to do it? Absolutely. Told Jamar, we got it. So we got the Candy interview in 2022. But let's not forget, we also had Ms. Wanda in 2022 too, which was my highest viewed interview, was the one I did with Ms. Wanda. We got that first. Then, so those were 2 big interviews in 2022. Later on that year, I found out that I was nominated for 2 Boss Baby Awards that year. I was nominated for YouTuber of the Year, and Jamar and I was nominated for Podcast of the Year. Big. Just big, okay? And I was just so overjoyed because I had just lost my cousin earlier that year, and I was still distraught and depressed about that, but I chose to keep it moving. So we opened up 2023 with me getting prepared for this award show, and we getting ready for the awards, and we're just doing little shit like that. But we opened up the year with a big loss, which was a friend of mine's, Jamar's, Carl's, and Tremel's. Her name was Danita. She was also a moderator of mine. I made her a moderator like the last few months of her life. Her name on Instagram was D. Rashawn. She was in a mod group. And Danita was everything to me. Danita was trying to help me get my book published right before she passed. And that was a big loss. That was a big loss. And so I just found myself, I just found myself like being completely shut down because we already talked about the suicide attempt of 2019. But I attempted suicide again in Christmas 2022. I attempted suicide then as well. So I was already kind of thrown off mentally already. But when that happened, I was like, oh my God, there's only so much more I can take. She passed. And then it was like, what more? What more can I do right now? Like, it's just too much. So I was depressed. Depression was on 10. Like every single day I wanted to die, like every single moment. And when we got to the Boss Baby Awards that year, I was not happy. That was supposed to be the happiest time of my life, and I was not happy. At any capacity, I was not happy. Um, I never forget everything about that day. Like, I'm supposed to be happy, but I'm not. And so I'm just like, I remember flying here and I told Jamar, I said, bitch, I just want to see if we won and I just want to go home. Cause I don't even care. And Jamar was trying to get me out of it and be like, no, don't do that. This is a good time for both me and you. Like, let's go in here. Let's turn it out. Let's see if we won. All that. I just knew I wasn't gonna win nothing. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because at one point in time, there was, and Patch is probably gonna get mad, but y'all know I keep it 100. There was a specific off-brand content creator that I did not know personally that was coming at me, dragging me, bashing me for no reason every single day, making video after video about me and saying I was boring and saying this and saying that and saying I don't deserve to win no damn award and saying this and saying, like, just dragging me. And to hear that shit every day, it was bringing me down. And it was bringing me the fuck down. Like, it was just really bringing me down. Like, and I started to believe everything that they were saying. I started to believe all that shit. Like, I literally started to believe every word that they ever said about me. And it was like I was already going through enough. Like, I was already going through my shit. My friend died. My cousin, I'm still grieving my cousin. I lost a friendship died. Like, all that going on at one time. And I'm just like, now I gotta listen to motherfuckers that don't know me trashing me every day. So when I won the awards, because we won both awards. I won Podcast of the Year with Jamar, and I won YouTube of the Year. And then after that, people start to say, oh, it was rigged and they shouldn't have won. And the only reason why it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even enjoy my moment, but whatever. So I had enough. After the Boss Baby Awards, I had enough. I had enough. I was like, okay. Okay, I'm done. Now, I'll never forget, I called into work that day. I was just that damn depressed. I called into work that day. And it was May. And like I told y'all already, I had already tried to did a suicide attempt Christmas 2022. And here we are again. And I was about to do it again. And I had said something on Instagram about I've had enough of this life and I'm ready to go. I think I said something like that on Instagram. Tramiel saw it and he called me immediately. And when he called me, I answered the phone and he said, "First of all, bitch, take that post down. Take it down." It was 7:30 in the morning. He said, "Take it down right now. And I'm going to sit on this phone until I look at your story and see that it's gone." So I took it down. And then Tramiel said, "Now we're about to talk. I'm on my way to work. I got a lot of time to talk. What's wrong with you?" And I told Tramiel everything that was bothering me. I boo-hooed, I cried, and Tramiel was there for me. Okay. Tramiel was there for me. Tramiel talked me down off that ledge. And it was like, that's all I really needed. Like, he stopped me. He stopped me because he said, "We're not finna have you doing this. We're not finna have you trying to take yourself out. We not finna do that. We're not finna do that. You're not finna keep doing this. Like, every time something goes wrong in your life, you don't need to go into that." And he was right. He was right. And I think that was probably like one of the last times I tried to do that or contemplated that. Now, as I said on the show, sometimes the suicidal thoughts do come into my head, not because I want to do it, but because it's just there. Sometimes it's there when I'm going through stress. Sometimes it's the thought of it is in my head, but I don't. It's up to me to not succumb to those thoughts. But from that point, I never tried to do it again. So this was 2023. And I was also dealing with family issues too. So that's when I made up my mind to move to Atlanta. I had this conversation with my mama, and I told her I don't want to be in Mississippi no more. I want to move. I gotta get out. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. And so then I created this new segment called One on One. And the first person that I reached out to was Armand Wiggins. And I'm a huge fan of Armand. Everybody knows this. He responded to my email and he said yes. I could not believe it. He said yes. So I was ready. I was in Detroit at the time because I was visiting Bubs the God, who at that well, I wasn't dating him anymore back then, but we were still, you know. However, um, I was visiting him then that summer. And then I was so excited because he had woke up and he looked at me. He was like, "What's wrong with you? Like, I heard you screaming. I thought something wrong. You woke me up out of my sleep. What's wrong?" And I told him that Armand said that he would interview with me, and then it was so like he was happy for me and stuff like that. So it was like, okay. So after I left Detroit, I got home, and that same maybe the next day, my friend Tierra was murdered. And I was like, "Oh, here we go with something else." It was just like, "Oh my God, why are we doing this?" It's something like I'm like, "Oh my God, oh my God, I don't know what else I can do right now." Like I can take it. I can take it. I can take it. And I just took a whole week off. Like I took a couple of days off of YouTube for that. Like, because in Mississippi we only had one crime lab. It took us a whole month before we buried her. So that shit was a lot on us. And I took a break right before her funeral. I took a break off of YouTube. And once I got back with interviewing Armand. So that hit me in the chest. And then by the time October hit, my cousin Beverly died of cancer. And I'm like, "Oh God." Like, I'm just like, will this year ever end? So I would say that 2023 was like a very dark year for me. Emotionally, it was very dark. Like I lost so many people. Like I lost Danita, I lost Tierra, I lost my cousin Beverly. A friendship was lost. So much happened that year. Family issues, it's mental. It's just so much going on in 2023. So I was ready for that year to be over. And all I wanted was for another start. So in 2024, I knew that this was my time because I knew that I was getting ready to go. I was getting ready to leave. Um, so I was nominated again for Boss Babe Awards. I was nominated again for YouTuber of the Year and Podcast of the Year. But Bundy won YouTuber of the Year, and Tripping with Trimmy won Podcast of the Year. So me and Jamar, I didn't win. We didn't win that year. But I got to meet Bundy in person for the first time, which was amazing. Then the Chasing panel came along in 2023 as well. I almost forgot the Chasing panel came along, and that became like a highlight because we had Boys Night Out, and then we ended Boys Night Out by the top of 2024. We were done with Boys Night Out because our schedules were not aligning, and the only days that we could do Boys Night Out was on Fridays. Those were the only days that we could all come together. And we know that Fridays is bill collective for me and T, and RuPaul was on Fridays for Jamar and Maddie. So sometimes we would have to push the show back to Saturday. So we felt like I was like, you know what, it might be best to just put it on ice at least for now until I can regroup and come right back to it. That's why Boys Night Out is not going on right now because of the scheduling conflicts. But the Chasing panel came along and it became a big hit out the gate. Never knew it was gonna be that, and it's still going along with the same cast. So we didn't know that was gonna be a big hit like it was, but it was. So 2024 was more of a year of a resurgence. It was more so like a year of me trying to get myself prepared for this big move that I'm finna make in my life and try to figure out what I want to do with my channel. So in August of 2024, I left Mississippi. And I moved here to Atlanta. Shout out to Jamar and Carl and Tremel and Dario. Oh, there you go, right there. And Dario. Shout out to Chasing Reality and Dario, Bando, Ramon, everybody in my Dominique, everybody in my Atlanta circle. Everybody pretty much, kind of held my hand in this whole move and wanted me to make that move. So that's all that 2024 was about, is me trying to settle in and, do what I needed to do as far as getting myself settled here in Atlanta. So 2025, I was nominated again for one award, which was Content Creator of the Year, which House of Aaron won the year before. I won this year. And it was cool. Like this year was more of a slow burn for the channel. For whatever reason it was, but it's okay. You just like I had a growth spurt many years ago and slowed down. That happens sometimes. We slow down sometimes. But now here we are at the 15-year mark, and it's like my 15 years have been very eventful. I put out a book, which was something that I've always wanted to do. I won another award this year. I'm on the web reality show now. Me and Josiah are about to start the Bestie Chat podcast. So, and I hit 58K. Never thought that I would ever see that number ever. And I went through this journey to let you guys know that dreams are real, and all you got to do is continue to try to manifest everything that you want to do. Like, I do think that when it comes down to naysayers, they're around. And I just wanted to read a comment that I saw on another platform one day. And it made me laugh. So that's why I'm reading it. But they were trying to really tear me down, but I'm gonna read it anyway. And I was on another platform and I was talking about how people were calling me boring and just talking about my platform and trashing it like it was nothing. Somebody made this comment on that particular platform and they stated, I'm curious. Hey, Spilly Boy. I'm curious to know how someone saying Scotty is boring to them equates to not liking him. Outside in his real life, he's probably a really fun person. But as far as YouTube goes, I don't think that's his calling. I don't think that YouTube is his calling. I think people have the right to their opinion. I love Maggie Smith, but she was boring in Downtown Abbey, you know. Her being boring does not take away from her being great in other things. So it's comments like that that trips me the fuck out. It's comments like that because you gonna sit here and tell me that YouTube is not my calling. But I was able to accomplish a lot being boring. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I laugh at naysayers. That's why I laugh. Like I said, I'm always the underdog, always. And I'm always the scapegoated or the black sheep person because here's another thing that I also want to say. I have been that person that has always tried to, my whole point in life is to prove everybody wrong all the time. That was my point. I've always wanted to prove people wrong because people have always doubted me. So that was always the thing that I always tried to do was prove everybody wrong. And every time I prove people wrong, it makes me feel good. Because I know I can do it. But sometimes I allow people in what they say, take me out of touch and just take me out of what I need to be doing. And that's something that I'm getting out of. And I think I'm doing I think I'm doing a great job at kind of getting away from being bothered about comments and stuff. Because there was let me tell you something. There was a time I was addicted to going on Lipstick Alley, honey. I was addicted to going over there. I stayed going over there because I was curious to know what people thought of me. Like I was curious. But sometimes you need to no, I'm not talking about I'm the black sheep on YouTube. I'm talking about in my life. Like I ain't talking about YouTube. But I be want to know what people saying. But you already know they always say when you look for something, you're gonna find it. When you look for something, you're gonna find it. And when I was going on Lipstick Alley looking at shit, I was definitely finding it. People really didn't like me, or there were people that really didn't like what I brought on my platform, or they didn't like me doing this or whatever, And I was like, it's so negative. Like they never have nothing positive to say about me. That's the thing that I would always say. It was like, oh my God, they never have nothing positive to say about me. Oh my God, it's always something bad. When I do something good, they never talk about that. But when it's something that irritates them or annoys them, oh my God, they're always dragging me. They never have nothing nice to say. That was my whole thing all the time. But I had to realize that people are going to talk just like I talk. I'm pretty sure that some of these people don't like what the fuck I've said about them. What make me special? People are going to talk when you put yourself out there. And I put myself out there, so they're going to talk about me all the time. Whether it's good or bad, they're going to talk about me. So why am I mad? Why am I crying over what people say? So I stopped going. Because there was a time where I would stop going But then I get the urge to go back and they itch and I had to go scratch it and say, okay, let me go see what they did. I ain't been over there in a couple of months. Let me see what they said. And I go over and I see what they said and they drag me and my feelings is hurt. So it's like, okay, Scotty, just stop. Just stop. Stop looking at stuff that's gonna trigger you. Just stop looking at shit that you're not gonna like to see. Just stop looking at that. And that's what I had to do. Because even when I was talking about that person that was making all them videos about me, I would sit my dumb ass there and watch the shit that they were saying. I mean, sit in my bed and watch those videos of them dragging the fuck out of me, like making up lies, just saying all kinds of crazy ass shit. And it took so much out of me not to respond, because I never responded to them, never did. But it took so much out of me because all I could think about was this. And when I say this, y'all, I promise you, I'm not trying to sound like cocky. I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I really mean this. But I have real people really looking at my shit. Like, I can't get on here and show the fuck out. I can't get on here and show out. I got a book out that I'm trying to sell. I don't want to get on here showing out. Candy watches my shit. What if she want to work with me again? I can't get on here and act a fucking fool. Even Dr. Heavenly, she watched my shit. It's people that y'all I don't even mention that's looking at my platform that may want to work with me. It's a lot of them. A lot of them. I can't get on here and act a fool. I can't do it. I don't want to ruin my opportunities. Bitch, Carlos King, follow me. Carlos King, watch me. Carlos King know who the fuck I am. What if he want to work with me? I can't get on here and show out. I can't. So that's all I was thinking about back then. I'm like, I can't get on here and do that. I can't get on here and respond to them. I can't do that. For what? And what am I defending? It ain't nothing but a bunch of lies anyway. So what the fuck am I defending? So, no, I'm not doing it. Won't do it. So right now, I'm just trying to prepare myself for new things. You know, I had a conversation with Jamie and Sakina, and it was on film anyway, so y'all will see it on the show. But I was having a conversation with them about how I want to do things that I want to do on here. Like the reality TV stuff and the gossip is great, but I've steady been sitting up here just going on and on and on about doing different content. And I'm definitely going to do it next year. I'm for real. It's time for me to do it. I gotta stop talking. Like I stop talking about it and walk about it at this point. I got to, because it's so much I want to talk about, so much I want to discuss, so many things I want to talk about and put out there. Like I want to do that. So, yeah, I'm here for it. We gotta get in here. We gotta do something different. So yeah, that's the thing. Just want to get into some new stuff. Here go Lyric being a hater. But we want to do some new stuff, and that's what I'm gonna do. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the gist of it. Now, there are some people that I want to shine a light on before we end this, because there are a couple of people I want to shine light on for real. First of all, the Scotty Gang, I do want to shed light on y'all. Scotty Gang moderators, y'all have been amazing. Y'all, the work y'all put in be crazy, and I love it. I didn't even know that y'all were on that platform going off the hinges on my behalf when them folks were coming at me. I had no idea y'all was going over there doing that. And everybody knows that I would have been like, oh, y'all, don't go over there. Don't go over there dragging them folks. Let them have a moment. But I didn't know y'all was actually over there dragging these people on my behalf. And although I will always say we don't do that, I'm gonna completely say thank you. Thank you. That's all I can say about it. Um, so yeah, I appreciate y'all. Um, Shout out to Storm Monroe. We worked together twice. And we worked together behind the scenes before too. And Storm is a really good guy. Like, he's giving me so much advice. Um, I'm gonna take a lot of his advice and really make do with that too. Because he's really giving me he's really shown me a lot of the ropes with this content creating thing and all that other stuff. So I love that. And he gave me a lot of ideas that I'm gonna take on. So shout out to Storm. Armand, he always give me my just due, and I'm gonna always give him his. I'm saying Scott, not Scotty. I'm saying Storm and Armand because they are my inspirations of today. The Scorpion Show and Sweet Addictions were my inspirations on doing a YouTube channel, but Storm and Armand are my inspirations on what I'm doing today. I love them; they're amazing. The Ghetto View, I don't think she gets her credit or her just due like she should. She's also one of the OG reviewers as well. So shout out to her, and she's very supportive. She's always been supportive all the time. She supports everybody, and I don't really think that she gets her just due. Even back in our heydays, I never felt like she got her just due. So shout out to the Ghetto View, and all that. Love her. She's still around, so shout out to her. Jamie, that's me. Um, that's my friend and my sister in content creating. Like, Jamie is literally my real friend. Like, I've been to her baby shower, I have been to her birthday party, she's been to mine. You know, she is an amazing person that gets me together behind the scenes. Whenever I'm talking that dumb shit and doubting myself, she get my ass all the way together every time, which I will see on the show because she was there to do it. And I love that. She's like a big sis to me. I love her. Jamie is a person that I really do appreciate. Mims, make it make sense. My Aquarian brother, my dear friend, he was there for me through a lot of the stuff that I went through in 2023. And we don't get to talk all the time because he's always on the go. But that's my friend, and whenever I need him, he's always around every single time. And I love Mims. We don't have to talk for weeks, but when we do talk, it's on and popping every single time. So shout out to Mims. Love him. Um, Josiah. What can I say about him without shedding tears? Josiah has been my friend for 5 years now, since we started the Whether You Like It or Not panel. And it went from us just working together on a panel to him becoming like my real life friend, to I'm visiting him, staying the night I'm staying the weekend with him and stuff. I'm hanging out with him and his friends. I meet his boyfriend. Um, he's coming to Atlanta now to visit me all the time. Like, Josiah and I have the most like the very like a very close knit friendship, and it's so, like, when it comes to Josiah, I be ready to cry because that's really like my little brother for real. Like, I love Josiah. Like, I can't wait to see him in December for his pajama party. I can't wait. That's like a yearly thing for him. But I love him. Like, he is like, we talk about everything. Like, he is like one of the first people I call for a lot of stuff. I'm one of the first people he calls for a lot of stuff. Like, that is like a real friend indeed, if I never seen one. Like, I love Josiah. Like, that is like my ride or die for real. Like, I love him. I wouldn't have it any other way. Um T, One of my besties on here, met him in 2019, did not know that we was gonna still be friends to this day. And he was the one who opened the door for me to get to know other people on YouTube. Because after everything happened with King of Reeds, I did not want to make any more friends on here. But he came along and he just kicked the door down and he was there. And even though we ain't met in person just yet, after all this time, we still ain't met in person yet. You know, T is really like outside of what y'all see on camera. T is really like one of the sweetest people in the world. That's why I find myself defending him a lot because T is entertaining, but T is very sweet for real. Like one of the sweetest people ever. So I love me some T. Off the real, love T. Anytime we want to do something, he always, he always get it popping. Like, you want to do this, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Sakina, that's my sis. We both on the south side of Atlanta. That's my sis. Our relationship has grown so much. It's like, because every relationship, when you're in groups, you're normally closer to some than others and all that. But me and Sakina's relationship has really grown. Like, I would say that we're very close now because she knows a lot of my business. And I know hers. And yes, I met her cousins, met her family members, met her friends, all that other good stuff. So it's like, and they love me, by the way. So I love Sakina. That is my girl. Like, that's my sis. Love her. And she knows a lot about me. I tell her a lot of shit. Yeah. My big brother, my confidant, I told him something very, very personal about me, and I actually revealed that on the show. Y'all gonna see exactly what it is. Probably gonna that episode probably gonna be around episode 5 or something like that. But um, I told him something really personal about me when he was here for my birthday, and he was so upset because he was like, why you didn't tell me this? I would have did this, I would have regulated, I would have. And then I was like, well, that ain't really nothing that I wanted to talk about, because it's very, for me, it's just not something that I wanted to discuss because I really wasn't ready to. And it's not it just wasn't the time. And I was just going around telling certain people. I was just comfortable with telling like certain people about the situation. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. So Ya is a really good person, and we have gotten closer as well. We have definitely gotten closer. Um really B, that's my big sister. She supports all the time. She calls me all the time. And when she feels like something is wrong, she gonna call me. And she gonna make me tell her what's going on. She gonna always make me tell her, even when I don't want to tell her. She gonna make me tell her every time. So yes, and I don't even know why. Like, that's another one of the things that I used to see when I would go on Loose Together, is when they would say that we were all disrespectful to really be and all this other shit. I'm like, we're not disrespectful. This is just how we are. Like, really be calling me hoes and bitches all the fucking time. So I don't even understand why when we are Jones and her, they would take it so personally. Cause I'm the type of person that if really be ever felt like I was going too far with her, I would stop Jones and her. But this is what we do all the time. We Jones each other all day, every day. So that's why that was another reason why I had to stop looking at that, because it made me question myself. Like, am I doing too much? Like, am I really dragging her? But I'm really not dragging her. Like, really B drags me all the time. What you mean? So, that was kind of odd, but whatever. But that's like my big sis. I love really B. And YB is another one. Abby is another one. Cat is another one, and El Teddy is another one. All of them, they all mean the world to me. The Justice League, was running rapid in the web reality world at one point in time, and we were the pie. People don't like to give us our tens though. You know, they don't like to. They really be you know, they overlooked the Justice League, like we didn't have nothing to do with the interviews and the web reality world and stuff like that. But we really were one of the first. So I really hate that we don't get our just due sometimes, and I'm gonna say it right here. We don't get our just due all the time. But please believe, at one point in time, it was really B, it was T, it was Scotty, it was Cat, it was L Teddy, and YB and Ebby always doing them damn interviews all the time. But they don't like to give us our things, but it's okay. It's okay. But I love them. I love them so much. Um, House of Aaron, that's like my little bro. Very supportive. We hang out. I've been to his parties, he been to mine. It's always been a great thing. And we talk, like when we talk, because we don't get to see each other all the time. But when we do see each other, it's just like, bitch, what you been doing? Blah, 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 you know, whatever. So, and I will fight for Aaron. I don't play about him, man. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I will fight for him. I'll put you in the dirt about Aaron. So don't play with him. Because I don't want to forget nobody. Jamar. I can't forget him. I was gonna wait till I was gonna say him for. I think I'm gonna say him for last. Spilly Boy. I love Spilly Boy. We don't have the closest relationship, but Spilly Boy has always been supportive of me. He always been like a good friend to me all the time, and I love Spilly Boy. We haven't met yet either. Hopefully, we do. Rocks. I love her. I love Rock so much. She's always been supportive of me, always been trying to look out all the time. Same thing with Ashley, always been a big sister to me. Text me, all that. Bondi, whenever we in the same city, we make sure we link up. Love her down. I already gave them their things earlier today when I said they're Rox Bunny and Ashley were my first YouTube support system. Much love from KY. Can't forget about her. I remember when I first started on YouTube, she was also one of the ones that was there as well. She would always look out too, especially when she would see me going through like struggle. I was struggling with stuff. She would always like be there for me. Like, so I would love for her to come back to YouTube full time. We need much love back on our screen. Adrian Expressions. We recently mended our relationship 3 years ago. You know, we never really had a problem, but it was more so of an allegiance thing. Like, he was closer to Justin than me and Jamar. So he stayed over there. And you know, that was the thing. But we came together and we talked and everything was cool. And he on the episode of the Prelude as well. We talked about how we came back together and all that other stuff. Now I don't talk to Adrian all the time, but we're in a good place. And I love Adrian. I love him down. Carl and Tramiel, love them. They got a lot of great things coming their way soon. I can't wait for you guys to figure out what those things are. But they have a lot of great things on the way for them. And to be truly honest, they are like great friends. Like great friends to me. They were a big part of me moving to Atlanta. And I love them. Now I ain't forget about Busy, trust me. Jeremy, we became closer when we were doing the chasing panel because me, him, and Chef Dun Dun, who's also someone near and dear to me, we were all working together at one point in time. We were the men that were being attacked in those LAMH streets, honey. And you know, we had each other's backs. Me, Chef, and Jeremy had each other's backs. So I would definitely tell y'all that was a time, but we had each other's backs though. We did. We definitely had each other. Me, Chef, and Jeremy, we had each other's backs during that time. We needed each other back then. But I love both of them. They're amazing people. and I love them down, most definitely. Busy is animated. Busy has strong opinions, but Busy is a very nice person. Um, very sweet on the on the inside, you know, like absolutely very sweet. I wouldn't trade him for the world. I really wouldn't. Now, Pierre, he's Ebony Entertainment. Pierre's like a little brother to me too. We talk outside of YouTube, whether it's about real life stuff, whether it's about the tea, whether it's he needs some help with something YouTube wise. I'm always down with Pierre. That's Evaneer Entertainment. So I'm always gonna look out for Pierre all the time. Like we've been talking about how we need to meet up because I invited him to my birthday party this year, but he couldn't come. But hopefully he can come this year. But I love Pierre, and I love to work with him. He's one of my favorite people to work with. So I would definitely enjoy working with him. Um, it's so many people that I got relationships with on this damn YouTube that I don't want to forget. Brooke, that's my girl. That's my friend in real life. Love my girl, Brooke. I don't care. I don't care. Love my girl. Love my girl, Brooke. The next time I go to New York, we're definitely gonna hang out again. What Brooke gives off on YouTube, that's exactly how she is in real life. I promise you, that's how she is. I love me some Brooke. Um, Color Me Pink. We were supposed to meet up when I was on that god awful trip to St. Louis, and it just didn't. It just didn't happen. Something had come up, and that's why we weren't able to hang out. But shout out to Color Me Pink. Bando. Um, he's been a big part of my life for the last 2 years. But regardless of anything, that's my dog. Okay, he gonna always and forever be my dog. That's my dog. And he has been around for a lot of shit, just like I've been around for a lot of his shit. And he's very supportive of me. You know what I mean? He's very supportive of me, just like I'm supportive of him. And I appreciate him for everything, like everything that comes about, like everything. And we had to have each other's backs on this fucking show. Let's be clear. But everything. I would even go on to say that shout out to Lyric. And I'm gonna tell you why. Lyric is kind. Lyric is nice. Lyric is a handsome guy, but Lyric is a flake. Lyric calls me. Lyric texts me sometimes, but Lyric is a flake. So I'm just going to say that Lyric needs to do better when it comes to me. He needs to do better when it comes to me. But regardless of the shade that I just thrown, Lyric is also someone that that I care for. He is someone that reaches out when he remembers me. He is someone that I feel cares. We talked about a lot of stuff. I've shared a lot of personal things about me with him. I've shared a lot of stuff with him. He shared a lot of stuff with me. And he's a great person when he remembers who I am. And hopefully he stops being a flake. Okay, hopefully he stops being a flake. And I'm gonna leave it there. But yeah, shout out to him as well. Um I know that I know that I forgot somebody, but I'm just gonna end it right here because anybody that I forgot, charge it to my mind and my heart. But Jamar's my best friend. Been my best friend for 13 years. He's been there with me forever. He's been there with me from the start of YouTube. We've been together. We have rode this ride together. We've been on this journey together for a long time. And there is really no words that I could use when it comes down to Jamar. Jamar is literally my best friend. He is my soulmate in friendship. That is somebody that I will always be grateful for. No matter what. I got his back, he got mine. Everybody knows that that is my bestie forever. Most definitely he always got my back all the time. And I just feel like at the end of the day, no one can compare to that relationship. Nobody can. Like I said, we're so different because he's a white girl and I'm an urban boy, but we're the same too at the same time. Okay. So I appreciate Jamar for everything and I love him greatly. Now, I think I said something about my moderators already, but I think I just lumped them up with the Scotty gang all together. But let me just send a special shout out to my moderators. I have quite a few of them, but that's because some of them haven't been around in a while. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. Patches, Feisty, Prophet, Harold, Ravine, Tracy, Catherine, Tracy, Sharice, Aaliyah Brittany, the Jail Slayer, um, Michelle's daughter. She was there, one of my first moderators. Soulful Dog, Ebony M, who is the other one? Bianca. Bianca's one of my newer mods. Bianca, I think I said what I said, or I think that's her name. It's quite a few of y'all in here. Pain. Oh God, I can't forget about Pain. Pain. It's a couple of y'all, and y'all really be doing y'all. Now he ain't even said nothing about everything that I just said about him, but he up in here telling some dude he look like a Muppet. But anyway, I thank y'all for really looking out for this platform and the channel. Y'all be doing y'all due deals all the time. And Norris, him too. I almost forgot about him. Y'all do y'all thing all the time. Y'all make sure that the people don't come up in here being disrespectful. Y'all just really come up in here and just let it be known that we not gonna sit up here and let you disrespect Scotty. That's what we not gonna do. And y'all make sure y'all support everybody that comes on my panels and stuff like that. Like y'all do it all. So I appreciate all of my moderators. They even get up in my ass when I don't do what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like they get in my ass too all the time. And I appreciate them for that. They just want to see me do better and do good things and stuff like that. That's all they want to do. They want to see me do good things and all that. So shout out to my moderators. Even Feisty. So with that being said, I think that's it. Cause this live really went longer than what it was supposed to be. But I had to thank my people. I did. I had to thank everybody. I know I missed a lot of people probably, and I didn't mean to, but oh shit, and Bree. Oh my God, I forgot about her too. Jesus. It's a lot of y'all. I promise y'all it is. It's a lot of y'all. But yeah. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everything. And it's all love. Y'all are the sweetest people. Y'all supported me and always post my contests and been there for me. Y'all are real heroes. Thank you for the super chat and thank you for that, Catherine. I appreciate you guys. Y'all are everything. And I just love y'all. And I can't believe that a lot of y'all really been here with me since the beginning. I know for a fact Too Feisty has been around forever. And I do mean forever. She's been around forever. Like, for real. She was one of my first mods, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a lot of y'all. It's a lot of y'all that I remember being around for a long time and seeing things that has transpired, but I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody. See how I give Feisty her props, and she just can't. She want to beef. I don't know what it is. She just want to be. She might as well have been on the scene in Atlanta with me, just like they want to beef with me so bad on that show. She want to beef with me too. I guess, girl. But anyway, not since the bathroom banter. But y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in right after the Whether You Like It or Not panel. I really do appreciate it. If it wasn't for me being tired and this live being late, I probably would have let some of y'all come up and say a couple of things, but I don't know. But I don't know. I love when she calls you Bully by Nature TV. Yeah, because you love the ops. See, this is what I'm talking about with Lyric. And I'm pretty sure that as soon as this live is over, Lyric is gonna text me not talking shit. He see the energy that he gives in these chats. See, he don't get that same energy on his phone. See, the energy that he gives on them chats, he don't give it on his phone. I promise you he don't. He don't. And if I was a messy ass bitch, I would have some receipts on him. But I ain't gonna do him like that because he don't do that on his phone. On this phone right here, that is not the person in that chat, just letting y'all know. But, however, do y'all want me to post the link? I'm slick sleepy, but I probably could. But then again, I don't know. Everybody's saying drop the link. Everybody's saying drop the link. Oh, do a part 2 so it's not rushed. Okay. What I would probably do, I probably will do a part 2 of this. I probably will. So y'all can come up and say y'all stuff. But yeah. I appreciate y'all for real. And hopefully y'all support me on the scene ATL. I do green screens on the second. Yeah, I do my confessionals on the second. Lyrics say, now drop the link. You must want to come up here. Is that why you asking to drop the link? I need to see that answer before I make a decision. Exactly. So shut up. Anyway, I'm finna go. Because ain't nobody got time for Lyric and his bullshit. No one has time for Lyric and his bullshit. Lyric is full of shit, honey. Because like I said, watch him text me with some bullshit. You see this? This is the fake shit that I be talking about. But I promise you, he don't do none of this on his phone. But that's all right. I got him, though. When he try to call his phone and his number blocked, then he gonna have something to say then. But anyway, I'm finna go and I'm finna get on up out of here. I will talk to y'all a little bit later. Might talk the Lyric in a few minutes. And that's about it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We had over 100 people in here. And I really appreciate you guys for coming in here, talking to me, listening to my story. As triggering as the shit was going back and forth about it. But I appreciate it. It's 15 years of Scotty by Nature TV. 15. Do you see that? 15 years of Scotty by Nature TV. Ain't that something? But I'm out of here, y'all. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love y'all. Bye. Things I wanna do to you. All the love you try to
good.